It is so great being joined by the Bellator Women's Featherweight Champion, Cris Cyborg, here on the program. Cris, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great, excited, happy, and ready for the next one.
Yes, and we had to get you on here. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, we got to talk about this Amanda Nunes and Julianna Pena fight at UFC 269. I got to give you credit, Cris. You actually picked Julianna to get the win here. Just your thoughts on her performance and how she ended up going out there and finishing Amanda Nunes was very impressive.
You know, I was not surprised because I got a Julianna Pena because if I've lost to Amanda Nunes, four if the same style Julianna Pena. For Amanda has. And before when I fought Amanda Nunes, we knew Amanda Nunes' danger in the beginning, in first round. Mm-hmm. If you pass the first round for her, like you can get the fight. It's like, and then we knew this. Of course, when I fight her, you go, fire to fire, and it happened. You know what's happening, but. I believe we knew when you go to pass the first round to see she cannot finish you. So she's doing one way or she's going to quit in the floor or something. And this has happened to Julianna Pena. I don't feel like Julianna did any submission because don't have submission the way he finished the fight. I feel like Amanda Nunes at one point to see she can finish. And Julianna Pena continue going further. And she's tapped, but don't have any submission right there, Yeah. I believe I don't know what's passing through her mind in the second round, because it was said when you're gonna fight for the title, you had it for 7 rounds, and that was second round.
Did you feel like in that second round that Julianna was going to do it?
I feel like Julianna Pena is doing very good jabs. The jabs, and then in the little bit in the second round, Amanda wanted to finish the fight, take KO her the most fast she can. But Julianna keep her on the jab. The jab really opened a lot of doors for Julianna. And the reality, when they stopped the fight, I didn't think they finished the fight because they don't have submission there. And didn't see the tap too. When you watch, you have to return and see was the tap. But because we don't have submission once they finish the fight. And then we think, I don't know, the time off or finished. We didn't think they really finished the fight. And then after we see she stepped, but don't have the submission over there, But Julianna Pena did amazing, did a great fight. She's already there for fight for the champion. Doesn't matter if it's bad or good position, but she's overcome the first round, and she did a great second round.
Were you surprised at how quickly Amanda tapped? Just because, Pena didn't have the choke on that long, and then it was just sort of the fight was over. Were you surprised by that aspect of it?
And then after she tapped, they say, you're going to see the choke, and when you see it's now in the neck. And if you do jiu-jitsu, sometimes you do some drills when you have a fight. The drills in the position, we put in the position drills, sometimes in the back with a hook, no hook. So when you black belt, no hooks, and then you protect your neck, you have to roll, you have to, first thing, protect your neck. So we didn't tap that position. And then in the beginning, because this we didn't understand how what's the choke, where is, but then, I don't know, I believe Amanda, I don't know what's passed through her mind there, but I believe she's quit at that time,
Well, and let me ask you this as well. Amanda got COVID, right, earlier this year. Do you think that impacted her in this fight at all? Because we saw, I can't remember the last time Amanda getting that tired in the second round. I know she was getting hit in the face, but do you think at all that COVID might have played a role in her performance on Saturday?
I think she feel no ready for the fight. Mm-hmm. We have in history Amanda Nunes pull out one day before the fight. I think if she do one moment, she's feel like, I'm not going to take risk. I'm not feel good. The COVID, she's going to pull out the first day of the fight, the day of the fight. She did this with Valentina, and she changed the dates all the time. So I don't think this is the fact because she's been training, being ready. She's already pushed forward the fight, and she's really already did this before.
So Amanda loses on Saturday, in a fashion that we didn't think would happen. Like it was just Julianna outstruck her and then she got the submission win and she lost. And, you're someone that lost to Amanda Nunes. Do you feel like this in some ways helps your case for being the greatest of all time? Because even Amanda lost bad, lost a fight and had one bad fight. Do you feel like this kind of helps your case overall as being one of the greatest women fighters of all time? Because it just goes to show that even someone like Nunes can have a bad night.
I really don't like to, you're never going to say I'm the greatest all the time. I believe like the fans, you're going to pick the fight you think did a lot for sport. Of course, the sport is not just the win. And they change the sport, I think it's a lot of things to do because you're not going to be the champion for forever. Yeah. You're going to, but what do you do for a legacy? Why do you make the change for the sport? I think this is count together. And And I don't know, after I lost to my career, if I'm on Nunes, I feel like not just about the loss of fight. Loss, we wake up in the morning, training, go straight for another fight. But Amanda, that this fight is not just lost, just quit the fight.
Yeah.
So I think you have a lot of things. The rematch, made the rematch. I asked her and she told me wait for 2 years. So I believe maybe I don't know how long she's gonna take for coming back, but she know what's happening in that fight.
Yeah, and you bring up two good points. Let the fans decide. And number two, it's
Yes.
how you come back from your losses is how well you do. You haven't lost since that fight, right? And I think you've done a really good job in Bellator, dominant, especially that last fight. So I think that's something that people got to consider when they're looking at the overall career, right? Because it's like everyone loses. George St. Pierre lost. Anderson Silva's lost, right? It shouldn't take away from their greatness. It's how they respond to those losses, right?
No, I believe that that loss, I learned a lot and then changed my life.
Yeah.
That loss, people see like it's upset. It was upset too. Everybody thinks it's upset in the sport. But for me, changed my life. I moved to Bellator and I feel very blessed and very thankful. I think it was supposed to be that way. And if I continue winning, I was gonna be in UFC. I was gonna be unhappy. I was gonna be a lot of things. So I believe everything is happening for a reason. Probably Amanda Nunes is gonna know after the loss what she's gonna learn from or something. Always learns from something. And I think it was this is the happen. Yeah.
It looks like the rematch between Nunes and Pena is going to happen next. I saw some odds come out. I think Nunes is still a pretty decent favorite, not as big as last time. But would you favor Amanda if they fought again, or do you think Julianna's got her number?
I don't believe Amanda Nunes is gonna do a straight rematch with Juliana, but she says she's ready, and let's see. Let's see what's gonna work. Juliana have different style. Style make the fight happen. And let's see. Yeah, and then Amanda Nunes coming and avoid Juliana for a long time. Like you see the interviews Juliana did before. It's real. She's being avoid her, fight her. And, like she never give the rematch for Katzengano too.
It's true.
Even if she wins, she don't want to give the rematch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point. Okay, just one more question on the UFC. Obviously, Kayla Harrison was at the fights. There's some rumblings about her signing with the UFC. Do you think Do you think Nunes' loss hurts her chances of signing with the UFC, or do you not think that matters?
I don't know what's the plan UFC has if you don't want to. Yeah, because Kayla, she's making 145. Amanda Nunes before this fight, she's saying she maybe I know no need to have the division 145 anymore. She want to close the door, so don't care about the other women. Come to the sport. But if Kayla is 145, she's supposed to fight 145 pounds, but now she lost the title 135. Maybe she's getting motivated for growing the 145-pound division. But I don't know what's gonna happen. But if this is not happening, but Dana can have Kayla for getting the division growing and make it better. Don't have a lot of women's 145, but then he can play like 135s, go top, back and forth like he was doing the whole time.
And if Kayla was to sign with Bellator, that would be a huge fight between you and her. How do you look at that fight from a style perspective? We know Kayla's got a really good judo base. That's what she came from. But how would a fight between the two of you go if you guys were to fight each other?
It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be mixed martial arts. I know she have good judo, but in the MMA fight is different. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an exciting fight for sure.
And how much would you factor in level of competition? I mean, you fought everyone, Cris. You fought, I think, all the best fighters in the world. That's one thing with Kayla. Unfortunately, it's not her fault, but she just hasn't fought the level of opposition you have. How much would that play a factor in that fight?
I think she can change. I think she can change this. I think she is. Sometimes if you want to more, maybe get out your comfort place. And if she want to change, she's young, she can change. And I don't know. She knows what the changes can do for people who want to if she want people respect her. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand. Let's talk a little bit of boxing, then we'll get out of here. Katie Taylor fought on the weekend. Did you happen to catch her fight? Because I know there was you've been linked to her for a while.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch. I have.
Well, she won. I mean, I guess, but not surprising. Katie's been winning a lot of her fights. But I remember at one point there were some talks with the two of you. Has there been any update on that at all?
Everybody wanted to make me fight. But I want to doing boxing fight for sure. She's people telling me maybe fight her. I don't know. We don't same division. I don't know. We are the same division, but I mean, I was training, and if you think it's a good fight, I was training. Be ready. I don't know.
Is that something you'd talk to Scott Coker about? Not fighting her necessarily, but you just taking a boxing fight? Because I know when Showtime came on with Bellator, it seemed like that would be a natural fit of you going into the boxing ring and having a fight there.
For now, it's going to be very busy time for MMA, but for sure, I want to continue doing the boxing. Let's see what's the money there, money, because, the women's boxing don't make same type money doing MMA. So, but really the dream is still here. I really improve and getting better in my boxing for when the opportunity is coming, I'm going to be ready.
Are you surprised with how many boxing fans know who you are? Like, you're one of the most popular fighters in that world, which is interesting because you don't box, but are you surprised every now and then when you'll get boxing fans coming up and asking for autographs?
I think because it's like the style fight, I always finish my fight by hands, and then the aggressive, and I think the fighters, the boxing really like my style, and then we falling up a little bit for all my career. And for a long time, have too many girls, and now, the sport is growing a lot. And make me really happy, make it nice. People will, I believe boxing fans really would like to watch me boxing for sure. And this is, I feel this when I go to the boxing events, and they really give him so much love, and they show love back.
Speaking of boxing, Manny Pacquiao calling it a career. I know you were someone that was very fond of the work he did. Just your memories of the really incredible career he had in the boxing ring and elevating it to such a big global level in the sport.
No, the one thing I'm not just fan of him inside the ring, but I'm a fan outside the ring. How he treated his people around him, and they have the opportunity to be going in his house, and they have a lot of people over there, and he's giving the attention for everyone. And he's doing now. He did a lot of things for the sport. He changed a lot of things in the sport, and for sure he's going to continue to change. His country and where he lives, change people's life. He's an amazing mentor. Amazing example for a lot of fighters. It's not just to be a world champion, but to be the world champion in people's lives. This is one legacy I wanted to do. My career, continue doing, and he's doing great. He's very inspirational for me.
And another name that's, boxing, MMA, Claressa Shields. We spoke about this a while ago about her losing her first MMA fight. But what do you think the future holds for her in MMA? I know there's a lot to learn there, but she's still very young, and I think there's a lot of potential for her.
I always say, she's very courage. You get out your comfort. She get out the comfort place. She was the champion. She's the champion in boxing. She's really dominating in her boxing career. And she said, "What? I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna change." And she's the one to do MMA. This is to take a lot of courage for you to do that. And I really happy, because she's changed it. She's changed the mind of a lot of people. She lost the fight. Okay, you lost the fight, but she's young. She can continue training, continue getting better. What do you think? Better lost in the beginning, and then you get improved better, or lost in the halfway, or and you're there on top? If you do the beginning, for you can change and learn more the training. For sure, this is going to be just an overcome for her. This is come back strong.
Absolutely. And one last boxing thing, I guess, if you want to call it boxing, we've got Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley rematching this Saturday. Of course, Tommy Fury out of the fight. Are you going to be watching? I know you're going to be in Brazil for this week.
I would like to be there watching. I went there in the first one, but I'm not going to be able to go. I was going to be in Brazil, but I think it's going to be a great fight. It's nice. Paul called, Tyron Woodley for the rematch, and they continue the event for the fans, and it's very nice.
Well, I got to ask who you're picking. Do you think Woodley can do it this time, or do you think Jake Paul's got his number?
I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's not gonna be the same one. I think Woodley gonna come in for him. And I think he knows that and prepare well. I think we're going to have a great fight.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Cris, thanks so much for doing this. Safe travels to Brazil. If there's anything you want to promote before we get out of here, we got CrisCyborg.com, the premium service. You're very active on social media. Cris Cyborg on all accounts. Just anything else you want to mention before we get out of here? I'll give you the last word.
So we're going to have our event, the last event in Brazil, Cyber Nation. And if you don't know about Cyber Nation, every Saturday morning we put in my channel, YouTube channel, put the fights, for the whole year. And I'm very excited. We'll go support Brazil, open the door for another fighters. And that's it. Thank you for all my fans. Merry Christmas for everyone. Be safe. And see you next year. Next interview, for sure, we're going to have news by next fight. Thank you, James.